Welcome, or should I say welcome back to The Way of Kings, a Stormlight Archive total conversion for Crusader Kings 3. Based on the book, by the way, Stormlight Archives. A lot of people messaged in the comment section and in Discord asking, you know, is this based on something? You know, is there something else we should know about this? It is based on a on that Stormlight Archive series of books, a book series I haven't read, but since last episode have watched a few videos on some kind of lore primers and things like that. I believe the channel called Invictus did a really good one that really does introduce the world very well, especially kind of the aspects around world building rather than the story. So if you are interested, I'll make sure I get a link to that somewhere so you guys can go ahead and get yourselves caught up. Again, I'm by no means even remotely an amateur at what's going on in the world right now. As a result of that, I wanted to start fresh. We built that character of Stunner Marlin last time, somewhere within one of the Eastern Kingdoms. I don't remember which one now. But since then, I've spoken to the dev and basically asked, you know, what starts would you recommend? What would be a great goal for this series? And there was a character that we briefly looked at in that previous episode that I pointed out that we are going to be diving into as today. There were some other things as well, like, for example, ruler supported in the patch we were playing wasn't fully supported, so we had, like, the wrong government type and that type of thing. But that has been fixed since in the, I believe that's coming in the upcoming patch. So instead, we are going to dive in as a character that will give us a fairly focused start, a fairly small start, but with room for expansion, and a very cool end goal. I'm going to go ahead and dive in here as a ruler elsewhere in the world, outside of the kingdom of Alethkar, I think it's called, isn't it? So we're going to go down to this area by Yarkaved, to the Inner Peaks. There was a character I clicked on last time and I said, oh, look at that, what a good reference. And that is this guy here, Grand Admiral Thrawn, Mithral Nuraodo of the Inner Peaks. This guy was, again, suggested to me by one of the developers as somebody to check out and give us kind of a cool goal, which in some ways ties, I believe it ties into the books of these guys wanting to gain their own shard blade. Again, I don't know a huge amount about the lore. I'll explain things as we go along here for those who might not also know. But it's very rare that in any CK campaign, you know, irrespective of the fact that Rule of Zone only came out for Crusader Kings 3, it's very rare that we start as a predetermined character. You know, I always do something. You know, I even made my own mod for CK3 at the very beginning to allow us to customize our character. You know what? Let's just jump in. Let's jump in with a predetermined dynasty, a predetermined character in this world, and kind of pick it up as we go, learn as we go here, and kind of understand what's going on. So I do understand a few more of the kind of lore concepts a little bit better now. The world itself, the cultures, things like that. So we were playing over in Alethkar before, which is very war heavy essentially. So we're going to play over here, which is much more isolated area. The Inner Peaks, we're up on a plateau essentially. Our ultimate goal for the series will be to get a shard blade, and I've kind of talked about that before. I actually didn't mention it at all in the first episode because I wasn't even aware they existed. But shard blades are I think there's 100 of these kind of very powerful, I guess the best word for it is ethereal swords, which have this kind of magical quality whereby they can cut through anything, including biological matter. But when they cut through kind of people, like say a limb, the limb will just kind of die in the most literal sense, that it'll just kind of go grey and be unusable. They're kind of this weird, again, kind of spectral weapon, and they're very powerful, and I want one. There's also shard plate armor, or maybe you just call it shard plate, which is similar concept. It's a kind of magical, the best way I can describe it, and this is a horrible analogy, but I think it does work fairly well based on the small amount of content that I've actually watched surrounding it. If you've played any of the Fallout games or are aware acutely of the Fallout lore, power armor, particularly the latest Fallout game where it is powered by power cells, or in the case of this, shard plate is powered by the charged gemstones from the High Storm, and it, you know, it's kind of self-repairing and that type of thing too. Again, if you watch that video that I was talking about earlier, that it goes into some detail about this, but it's this incredibly powerful armor that makes you not invincible, but very resilient to damage. And I think that'd be kind of cool if we could make our guy into almost this kind of demigod type character with this super powerful sword, this super powerful armor. There's another thing as well, I forget what it's called now. Again, I'm not by no means an expert. It's an item for crafting other items. Anyway, we'll find that as we go along, and we'll try and collect. We'll do some artifact collecting, which is something we've never had the opportunity to do before in in CK3, and it's directly tied into the lore. And again, these are people that have been trying to get their own shard blade for the longest time. So that seems like it would be a cool idea for our playthrough. So here we are. I'm going to call him Thrawn for short, because I'm not saying that every single time. Thrawn, and we are Luniamore Iki as our dynasty there. We might also just shorten that to like Icky or something like that. We get some unique mechanics, unique buildings, especially being up here on the mountaintop. So we can, was it a duchy building I saw last time? It might have just been, oh, well, I mean, firstly, it's worth pointing this thing out here. Cultivation's perpendicularity. We gain some extra investiture, which is, again, kind of our magical energy, I guess, for lack of a better word. A charged gemstone containing that magical power. Sunken underneath the hot spring pool deep in the Horneater mountains lies cultivation's perpendicularity. The pool of pure investiture has many uses and is holy to the Unkalaki, which are our people, our culture, essentially. I think they're called Horneaters as well, because get this, they eat horns. It's quite literally that simple. Comes with a bunch of nice bonuses, though. Fertility, we get a huge boost to disease resistance. I'm not sure how obviously relevant that is to the mod here. Development growth in realm capital. Oh, that's over 2 lines. Plus 0.1 a month, and cultural fascination progress plus 10%. But because we're playing this smaller, splintered realm and we're the most powerful person here, we're in charge of the culture. And I think that's kind of a cool side effect there. We've got sacred pools here as well for our supply limit 10%, development growth 10%, movement speed 70%. I mean, we're on top of the mountain. Fair enough. Come up with 50%, and defender advantage plus 12. That's very, very nice to say that we are very much in the middle of things right now. So there was some other unique buildings that I noticed. I think we can actually build hot springs or something like that. I don't remember where I saw it now. We could put a grand temple there. There you go. Sacred hot springs in the temple. Gives us some extra taxes there, development growth, and popular opinion as well. So, where do we even want to start? Well, I guess we should assess the dynasty to start off with. So we are Grand Admiral Thrawn, and then we've got this character, I believe, is a book character, right? Wow, that's an interesting name. Numuhuku Maki Aki. Yeah, you get the idea. Our son, we'll call him. For the sake of the video not going on any longer than the usual amount of time, we'll just call him our son until we play as him, and then it's going to get very confusing. So he is actually quite a good character. Okay, so he's got 2 virtues there, obviously very relevant if he's going to become the ruler. Compassionate, not ideal, I would argue. Eventually, we are going to have to build characters that are very, very powerful at dueling, especially if... I believe the only way to get the shard blade is to duel another character who has a shard blade, putting us at a massive disadvantage, obviously. But these guys have this kind of inherent trait, I was told, of becoming giants, so they have that opportunity to gain a bit more prowess, a bit more dueling power there. Okay, and then he's got 6 kids of his own. They've all got that kind of Habsburg chin going on, haven't they? Oh, it's got a little overcast. So, let's take a look at what we can do with our character then. Grand Admiral Thrawn, he is vengeful, cynical, brave. Okay, fair enough. Well, obviously we've got the -10 opinion there because it is simple. Naive, appeaser, giant, and patriarch. So, realistically, we're not going to be playing as this guy for very long. He's 52. I assume... Yeah, okay, so giant still carries the same health penalty that it does in base game CK3. We've got 1 holding over domain size too. What have we got here? I've got to refamiliarize myself with CK3 because I haven't played in a very, very long time. Okay, that one's got 3 empty slots on the holding there. Just want to give away. Oh, this is cool. Hey, I like that. See, now this one has buildings already constructed. Oh, and it's also got gemstone mining settlement. Oh, nice. And then we've got this one here. Yeah, if we're going to give any away, it would definitely be this one down here. I guess we could give it away to what, like a grandson? I assume we're primogeniture, right? How do you even find out succession these days? Ooh, equal high partition. I mean, high partition is obviously better than anything else. All rulers can have concubines, consorts, and multiple spouses if their faith has consorts and concubines or polygamous doctrine. We'll take a look at that in a second. Okay, and then high partition. Lion share of the titles because the player, the rest will be divided amongst your children. So... I mean, we don't really have to do anything unless we're really bothered about the negatives that come with that. That's opinion -10 domain. Taxes and levies down. We might end up playing as this guy for quite a while. Depending on what focus we pick to start off with too. What lifestyle. We couldn't go into learning straight away as well. You know what? I will dish that out then. Let's give it to like this kid that's 3rd in line. He can have it. Here. You can have this one. Consider it a gift. So our guy starts with 12 out of 27 of the diplomacy perks. All the way down family hierarch and a decent way into diplomat If we want to play as in for a little while longer and kind of get things under control, we could go medicine focus. Now we've got over here, so anti-Fabrian. The guy in the video I watched pronounced it Fabrials. I'm gonna go with that too because he's a bit more of an expert than me. We've got basic Fabrials here, cultural fascination progress. Now this becomes very relevant when we are the cultural head, right? Amateur anti-Fabrian, cultural fascination progress plus 5%. Okay, cool. And then apprentice 15%. Wow, that's quite a lot of net culture gain, eh? And then we've also got anti-Fabrian from the final one. Grand Admiral Thrawn focuses on making and designing new Fabrials. Now, there is an artifact that lets us do that, from what I recall. I believe it's actually this thing right here, which we might have to go out and collect at some point. Do we start with anything? No, we've got nothing at all to start off with. Okay. And then we've got no Nihel bonds either. If I'm not mistaken, you get that with stress breaks, don't you? So spreading these, what's the best way to describe? I don't know, spirits, for lack of a better word. Again, I'm describing it for those maybe like me who have absolutely no idea what these things are. I guess kind of spirits. Yeah, that's probably the best way to describe it, who will appear during certain situations. Again, the video I watched kind of described how in say, a battlefield, you might get sprens associated with kind of pain and etc. They're tied to emotion. So by getting the stress break, we could start heading down different levels, different ideals here, which give us access to different abilities. I like this one. The 5th ideal is practically a demigod. I think that's going to be our goal. We've got Spren Blade and Spren Plate, which I assume are different to the Shard Plates and the Shard Blades, right? Could always just reset our perks. We get 100 stress. We could respec him and, like, go into, I don't know, Stewardship to start off with. Really start building up the realm and then get maybe into more of the roleplay aspect when we've got a character to start in as. Or a character we can commit a bit more time to. So I want to test out some of these mechanics then before we start playing it. We'll call this guy Sun our first real starting character here, and let's see if that will be enough to overwhelm us with stress. But it gives us all 12 perks back. We could start looking at this. He's having a midlife crisis, by which I mean an end-of-life crisis, whereby he decides, you know what? Really decide I like Fabrials here. Theology focus. I don't want him necessarily living forever. We'll be honest. Development growth, that could be pretty good. Dedicates his final twilight years here to building up the realm as best as possible. I like that idea. We could go into August with our diplomacy perks. That would at least give us inspiring rule. Yeah, we could go down this one. Commission epic, give us a bit of renown early on. Kind of turn his attention inwards rather than outwards and build up the, you know, his family's all good. He hasn't got to worry about that anymore. He can turn his attention away from that and maybe into his legacy now that he's getting to the end of his life a bit more. I quite like that idea. There it is. Lately, it feels I've been constantly distracted by lascivious thoughts and erotic fantasies. Oh, God, has it already started? Oh, it's been all of 10 minutes. With all the hardships of everyday life, it's too easy to lose myself in daydreams and forget about reality. Those desires are clearly interfering with my life, but what should I do about them? I must sequester myself to avoid temptation. We can jog. Bite my lip and try and stay focused, gain another 25 stress. That's actually a pretty slippery slope to... I wonder if having successive stress breaks will give you, like, more power with the spread. I think it's just the first thing, right? This one here. Life before death, strength before weakness, journey before destination. Gain the trait Will Shaper. Hello. What is a Will Shaper, I wonder? Prestige, renown, lifestyle experience, and investiture +1 per month. And we gain a small boost. Okay. We lose 20 stress, but if we're still stressed in 5 years, so we gain what, 32 stress, I think it was? Yeah, so we're still slightly stressed out there. Okay, well, there we are. There's our first level of power, for lack of a better word. You're a Will Shaper of the first ideal. I'm not entirely sure I know what a Will Shaper is. I assume it's random, then. Perhaps what the spren, for lack of a better word, that presents itself to you. So you might be able to kind of forgo that, have another break later on and see kind of what you get out of that one. Let's test that out. The Knights Radiant progress their power by swearing ideals. Okay. So we are a Will Shaper of the first ideal. We can use investiture to heal from wounds. Okay, cool. Progression towards your next ideal can be accelerated with stress. Okay, so at this point we could we could take the option to... you know, not... obviously, we're gambling our life here, too. We could take that option to not solve our stress break and pile on the stress further and further. Months until next day. That's quite nice. We got a time on that, and we're 180% on progression rate. I guess because we are 80 out of 300 on our stress there. I wonder if that's 400 total progression rate. Whether it is a direct stress to percentage. That's interesting. And then we can also swear ideal. You're ready. Oh wait, we can go up an ideal. Oh cool. There we are. I'm so close to my next ideal, so close I can see the words in my head. I hear the spread whisper in my mind. You are ready, Thrawn. Speak the words. Freedom above all else. We're getting will shape on level 2. Hey, there we go. And I assume, yeah, no, we're not ready for the next ideal. But that is kind of cool, though. There we are. So our first level of, I really do like this mechanic. It's kind of fun. Gives something else to do with stress. Because again, every time I play CK3, I never, there is no reason at all to go for a high-stress playthrough. Sure, there are some perks in some of the trees that give you bonuses in return. It's not worth the gamble of just you dying, you know? Taking the right decision and playing a little bit better can more than counter that. Hello, I'm heading for my chambers to enjoy some blessed sleep when I hear a faint rustle from the window. Probably just the wind, I think, until the wind starts to speak. My God. Somebody. It's my son, right? Thrawn's son, open up, my rose. It is I, Hua Hawa Ono. I push the stutters open, and lo and behold, a woman has climbed into his window. It's my Chancellor. What did you just call my son, you Amorosa? Characters close to our son who dislike adultery lose 30 opinion of her. How dare she? What a completely random event. Oh, here we are. What is this? Oh, shit. Despite successfully besieging the settlement of Zukitekuto, a fortification protecting swaths of greater Zukite, that one, High Prince Valam has restrained his troops. The resulting looting has been isolated and sporadic. Though your vassal has been spared, the Valam eye your personal domains hungrily. Oh, hang on. Whoa, 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 whoa. We are an innocent people. Isolated, in fact. God damn, that's a lot of raiders. How many troops we got? 2,000. I don't think it's worth it. I think maybe we just take the prestige, let our vassal get upset, unless he started heading towards the capital, at which point I'll probably do something about it. More than anything, my quest to be a learning man is teaching me how much I do not yet know. What more? There must be so much knowledge that has been lost for ages. As far as books fall apart or languages are forgotten, we can write our family history and might gain a learning lifestyle perk. Okay, and then we can start taking a look at what Antefabrin? No, that doesn't sound right. Whatever. You might get a translation perk. It doesn't really matter either way. Something grand. One of the ancient myths seems pretty appropriate for the cultural head. Oh, no, it is Antefabrin. Okay, that's all good. We can commission an epic. So trade an exceptional amount of gemstones, obviously being the currency in this, for some renown. Seems like a pretty good idea. What if they've got any... extra of the... If I can remember how to bloody find it now. There we are. Of the... legacies. Yeah, it all seems about the same. Might have some new mechanics, though. We'll kind of explore it as we go here. They've redone... Actually, CK3 has had this redone since I've last properly played. What we need is a classic tale of grandeur of my family. A chronicle about the origins of our dynasty. And we're destined for greatness. Okay, we're going to lose 100 gemstones already. Hiring this person here. He seems pretty... Okay, scholar, 18 learning. Seems like a pretty safe bet, I think. Now, on the subject of safe bet, or in this case, unsafe bets, we can also recharge some gemstones. So, let's not worry about... Okay, well, let's deal with this first. My family epic seems to be progressing well. Should focus on me and my destiny, get more personal prestige. Well, seeing as our guys aren't going to last very long anyway. It's my family history, so be generous, gain more renown. Yeah, that's the whole reason we're doing this, after all. So, the high storm approaches. I can leave out some gemstones. They'll be infused with Stormlight. So we gain the, as it says there, investiture is a generic term for magical power. On Roshar, which is the planet, the most common form of the investiture is Stormlight, which is provided by the High Storm. So that is used in Surge Binding for the Knights Radiant. Us, by the way. Under normal circumstances, investiture must be stored in gemstones. So let's go ahead and do a bit of recharging here. Oh, geez. Okay. High Storm is about to hit. I've decided if I want to risk leaving some of my gemstones outside to be recharged where they could be stolen or blown away, we can go for a small amount. So 90% chance we gain 25, 10% chance we just lose 25, all the way up to 70% chance of 95 investiture, but losing 95 gems, or we can go out and try and protect it. You risk your life for your gems. Well, I do love gems, but if we die, we lose 100 renown. That's a massive hit. Oh, fuck that. No, take my gems. Hey, we did it. Okay, we're good. We're good. We got some gems charged. I don't know if we can do anything with it quite yet. Don't forget, we can apparently use the first ideal there to heal from wounds, so we could take a gamble on the gems in the future. I guess it depends on our income, which isn't too bad right now, but during wartime, if we're really desperate for it, might not be a bad idea. Chancellor is reading my family epic as it's slowly coming together. A lot of it's not very plausible, such as the part with the lower horse, she tells me. On the other hand, so there are, as far as I recall from the video I watched, like, so the world in general is kind of unique in terms of its geography, whereas the storm flies overhead and diminishes as it goes from east to west, right? So this area is much more ravaged and inhospitable. The flora and fauna is much more resilient and kind of hardened, whereas this side, it's all like, you know, basically planet Earth or an idealized Earth. I think there are horses, but I don't think you get many horses over here, so she's probably bang on with that. It's important to tell a good story. And who has a better story than King? Don't. 75 renown. Thank you. Ooh. I find myself working on the translation. I can't believe we're seeing stress, and I'm thinking, hey, that's only a good thing. Working on the translation of the ancient myths for hours under the flickering light of a candle. Often I will barely notice time passing. My scribes remind me, however, my lord, must be past midnight by now. Is it not time to rest? I have to keep going until I feel done. Translation quality will improve. It will be concluded faster. We gain 50 learning lifestyle experience, but we also gain critical stress. Now we can see if... Oh, corresponding with your Chancellor. Madam, I hope you've been doing it from quite the distance. Oh, God, that's horrible, isn't it? Jeez, it's been a shameful display. Total War Shogun 2, thank you for that. Oh, I'm having the notes from my translation of the ancient myths read back to me when, my lord, forgive me, but did you fall asleep? Heavens above, this classic is a piece of absolute drivel. Nevertheless, I will force myself through it. 40 more stress. Right, now we can see for sure if the game would give me a second. I've not been presented with my work on family epic for weeks, and the whole process is taking too long, or I end up doing shoddy work. I want it to be good, and I want it now, or we can spend some money and, you know, allow him to take the time that he needs. And you know what? We've invested so much. Let's go for it. So now we can check whether or not the 240%, you know, I think my theory was right. And you know what? That's really interesting. So it's obviously not just like a guarantee to get some extra, you know, say every time you have a break and, you know, there's a big bonus thrown into there. You have to keep the suspended stress level. That's kind of cool. High risk, high reward. I like that. Translation of the ancient myth is coming along. There's the, oh, the golden symbol. One section in the version I'm copying from gives me pause. My scribes insist that the works on the page mean as we hold 2 feet and spirits rising edges of Hunter. As we hold 2 feet and spirits rising edges of Hunter. Can't be right, can it? No, it doesn't make any fucking sense, but we will translate it exactly as written. The translation will improve slightly. This choice may lead down a path of zealousness. Oh, that could be interesting. So our religion is the gods of nature. Localization is a little bit broken, but I can fix that between episodes. No problem there. The Horneaters have 3 powerful gods they saw aid from: the gods of waters, the gods of mountains, and the gods of trees. The Unkalaki stories teach that the gods cannot be fought, but must always be tricked. Spren are worshipped by the Unkalaki. Well, that seems fairly appropriate. We translate the text exactly as written. And I mean, look, if we're becoming a magical wall shaper man through the help of a Spren, seems kind of appropriate that we would start becoming more and more zealous, right? This man here, we could stick to maybe just saying, you know, the first few syllables, the last few. We'll call him Anaki. Thank you. He's completed my family epic, and what a glorious chronicle he's composed. What do we get? 75 more renown, which is quite nice. 75 prestige, and then we gain, what is that? That's 5 prestige per month. I thought it was renown per month, but again, it's been a long time since I played a full CK3 playthrough here. After all the time he has spent at court and how well he's gotten to know him, it seems strange that he's about to depart. Do you want to hire him? He could make for a good scholar, couldn't he? A good bishop. Can we swap her out? We can. We can indeed. I also need you here. Becomes our friend, and he'll join our court, or as long as you write to me. No. Keep him around. We do actually need this guy. Let's go ahead and appoint a new bishop then, and we'll put him on board. You're fired. Get out. Court chaplain is... Oh, she's a court chaplain in the Inner Peaks. Fire from Council stops endorsing you. Oh, she's also a bishop. Right, that is a problem. But I guess it doesn't really matter too much. What? So she's got the temple in our capital then, right? Right, there you are. And we're no longer being endorsed by her because we sacked her. But to be honest, this guy's way better. So I think I'm happy with the trade-off. So I wanted to check out Casus Belli. Maybe one of the first early sensible things to do would be to unify our realm. Or our people, maybe for the right way to phrase that. So we've got the southern peaks there, the eastern peaks, and this one here, Pika Lower. And we've got free conquest Casus Belli against that, right? Gonna contest a title. Costs 100 piety. That's fine, because it's our religion group. And I assume that it's the same across the board. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so uniting our realm seems like it would be a fairly safe decision then. What is a kingdom level title here? Yeah. The Unkala, if we manage to get all of those. And in fact, the land actually goes slightly... Oh, no, that does line up there. Okay, and then you can see all of the separate kingdoms. Let's hope at some point some of these larger kingdoms, empires... No, they are all kingdoms, aren't they? Good God, they're large. Let's hope they splinter down a little bit. Might give us a chance to... We really can't punch out unless we go out and start making alliances elsewhere. To do that, though, because we're such a small round, we'll probably have to become a king first, and then we'll probably have to take the diplomacy perk, right, whereby they accept... the marriage acceptance is a bit more in our favor. We'll see how that goes. Right, how are we doing with our ideal? Months until next ideal. So we've got 9 months. That's really not very long at all. The 250% progression rate is... probably helping out for all the wrong reasons. So basic Fabrials. I didn't think we could do anything with that, can we? Maybe we have to go all the way down to Antifabrian before we get any options. We've got an available perk as well. Oh, we got another one immediately there. Oh, maybe we already had one to charge a few more gemstones. We might as well stockpile them. Actually, would it be better to stockpile them? I mean, wealth is inherited, but piety is, or investiture in this case, it is not. Oh, maybe it is. I actually don't know. It might be. I can't... Let's not apply base CK2 rules to this. CK3. Fuck. Help. Line. Oh, my gemstones. I can't believe you've done this. We should have gone outside to protect our gemstones. Fool me once. Can negotiate an alliance with my grandson. Well, that seems like a sensible idea. I guess just protects us from internal rebellion. It's not that I think we're at any risk of that. Why don't we take a look and actually see if we are at risk of that? No. No, not at all. Plus 34 powerful vassals. None's got a lower opinion than, well, roughly around 30. That's not bad. They've all got that Habsburg chin syndrome, haven't they? I guess it's, you know, it's probably just a, you know, racial thing. That's very racist, what I've just said. It's very racist. I'd like to make a formal apology to this guy. Maybe before I throw away all my jewels on, you know, magical adventures. Probably wouldn't be a terrible idea to actually invest in our capital first to make sure that we're getting a good amount of... Look, extra gems, 300 gems up front for 10 gems overall. I mean, it's going to be barely any gems, but it'll take us into the double digits, which is quite nice. Sacred Hot Springs, holding taxes 5%, popular opinion plus 15 is quite nice. Development growth 3% on top of that. Can we upgrade this? Oh, it's already max level. Okay, fair enough. The duchy building really should be the first thing we go for here. I mean, even if it's just to get the leather... Oh, no, I don't want stress loss. No, that's a terrible idea. Royal reserves. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Hey, there we go. We've got it. Nice. Boom. I'm close to my next ideal. So close I can see the words in my head. I hear the spren whisper in my mind. You're ready, Thrawn. Speak the words. I will seek the wonders in life, wherever they may be. Okay. So now we've got ourselves Will Shaper level 3. Significant health boost. Monthly prestige 60%, monthly renown 60%. That's really nice, actually. Wow. Lifestyle experience 30% on top of that. Now, look. I will admit, I've been committing to the playstyle whereby I'm expecting this guy to fucking die soon. So invest into the capital, you know, explore some of these mechanics so that we're ready to hit the ground running with our next character. But what if we just don't die? Because if we keep the stress high and we're able to balance that with health bonuses, we could still achieve a lot with this guy. Because I assume every level of radiance, is that maybe the right word? Every level of ideal is gonna probably give us an additional health boost on top of what the previous one gave. This one gives significant, the last one gave kind of minor, the one before that was, you know, the lowest. We might be able to get a major health boost by the end of all this. And we're getting so many bonuses too. And then we might be able to inherit into a grandchild rather than our son. which would work quite well because then we get a much younger, clean slate. You know what, Thrawn? I'm not going to throw you away so quickly, my friend. Friendship ended with our son. Thrawn is my new best friend. Okay. Well, look, I still want to... We've only got 2 more perks to go here, so I'm going to take the gamble. We're going to take these 2 more perks. Then we're going to go medicine focus, get the small health boost from that, see if we can get down to whole of body for another health boost on top of it. Medium boost plus a small boost from that. And then we go hunting focus and get a pet dog. How do you boost health in CK3 again? Our outcomes from stress breaks so we can get health boosts, right? For things like athletic, as far as I recall. Okay, right, so forget about the gemstones. We only need a little bit more, and then we can invest it into our duchy building. So I think that's a fairly safe idea. Right, let's throw down our royal reserves. A royal forest is a valuable source of wealth right up on the mountains. We don't have manneralism innovations. You've disappointed me for the last time. You know what? Everything I said, Thrawn, that's it. Throw yourself off. Right, what have we got then? Manneralism. Oh, we are very early in tech. Oh, Christ, okay. I may have I may have overestimated us a little bit here. Oh, wowee. Manneralism. It's here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Radiance arise. Yikes. Okay. We're missing... Okay, so to be fair, we're only 2 innovations off of it. Armored horses is what we're going for right now. 23 years. Good God. Is there anything we are a bit closer to? From the looks of it, no. How long would that take? 32 years. Let's stick with what we've got. Let's stick with how we're doing, because we are gaining cultural fascination from our upgrades, right? In that case, why don't we invest into those hot springs? We still get the taxes, but we also get the development growth on top of that. Okay. Go for it. I don't need love, just obedience. Another 33. This is where the gamble really kicks in. But look, we're down to 18 months now. 340% progression rate. Okay. Look, if we can get... Now, as far as I recall, athletic does give a health boost. Yes, it does. So I think we go for that. A 50% chance we gain athletic gives us a potential chance at longevity. We've got it. Now, it's only... Look, with a 10 stress gone there, 48 stress on top of that. Oh, that just put a few more months on it, didn't it? What can we do to stress ourselves out? We can educate children. The classic killer. How old are you? 13. Look, this guy's probably got a lot to teach. Let's go ahead and educate child. Oh, God. Okay, and then she's 17. Bit late then. Okay, that's all we've got. Well, let's see how that goes. It's a balancing act we'll get better at the more we play, and we'll learn kind of where it's a sensible place to... Here we are. We'll learn where it's a sensible place to balance it. Maybe going all the way up to that 400% boost is a terrible idea. We can only work that out with time, right? Goddamn, Thrawn. Live. I'm committed to you now. You will survive on me. Lose, chase, gain, stubborn. Are either of those... Okay, so neither of those are sins or virtues. Chaste or vengeful. Give her vengeful, because chaste is... not ideal anyway. Overwhelmed with stress. Good. Yes, music to my ears. And if we go even higher than that, he fucking dies, right? If you get another, there's just a straight up chance he'll just have a heart attack and drop down dead. 10 months. That's all I ask. Live. He's doing it. He's beginning to believe. And... Oh, right, of course I have to... I was waiting for something to happen. I have to actually trigger that fool. Right, there we go. And the next ideal. I'm close to my next ideal, so close that I can see the words in my head. Hear my spren whisper in my mind. You are ready, Thrawn. Speak the words. Independence is the ideal. Freedom the means. Wow. So we are up to Will Shaper level 4. A Radiant Will Shaper. A huge boost. 80% prestige of renown. Jesus. 40% lifestyle experience. So if we could get, like, Genius on top of that, that would be a staggering amount. And obviously the education there, too. Wow. Okay. Stay alive on me. We may summon a Spren Blade and a Spren Plate. How do I do that, then? Accomplished Translator. We commission a family epic. We've got Confidants. Storied Innovations. How do we do that? Surge Binding. Oh, hello. What is this? Use the Surge of Cohesion. Oh, wow. Okay. And then look. Shards. Summon a Spren Blade. Okay. Summon Spren Plate. Customize Shard Weapon. Main plate, plate edges, plate additions. Oh, wow. Look at this. Holy shit. Okay, so we get access to, I assume, these ones here, right? And then... Okay, so surge of cohesion, surge of transportation. Scheme resistance and movement speed. Okay. Surge of cohesion. Advantage and enemy. Okay, cool. Do we get anything else? Can we use anything else? Unable to use it. Okay, yeah, so it is only the ones that we are directly connected to there. But that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so cohesion or transportation. Right, and then we can also summon our weapon. This is actually what drew my eye the most when I saw the preview for it on the Steam Workshop. All of this custom UI stuff along with customizable weapons. That's quite cool, isn't it? So let's leave it there for today. And then tomorrow, we will give Thrawn a... I don't know if we've got all the prerequisites. I'm obviously not going to click it until we're ready, but we'll summon ourselves a weapon and some armor. Magical weapons, magical armor. We'll test out some of his spells as well, but this is really cool. I'm quite looking forward to seeing what we can do with this. Thank you all for watching. I hope you like the mod, obviously. Go and check out, I'll put links to their Discord and the Steam Workshop page and the usual stuff down in the description. If I'm awake when this video goes live, I'll also put it in the pinned comment, but there's a link in the Discord as well, in my Discord to their Discord. As if you're already in mine, just to save you having to track that down there. Thank you to the patrons, without which I would not be able to record 3 edited 30+ minute episodes every day until I die, which, going by that, will be approximately next week. Thank you to Goatfather, Solothol, Poseidon Cian, Crusader, Viazine, Baldor Hammer, K, Corrupt Racer, Hezron, Thor, Slow King 1710, Bare Minimum, Surzix, Anastara, Amethyst, C, and everyone else at the executive producer tiers over on Patreon. Big thank you to those guys for their support, and again, go and check out that mod, see what you think. Thank you as well to Major Mythical, Stalker, Pepe, Salakin, J, Blue, Chaos, Moon, Doggy, Taters, Angus, Larry the Emu, Flux Marsh, Callum James 3, Nox Immortalis, Bordoon, and Epilogue as well for their support over at Patreon.